I didn't even know I was black until I was 10. I did not know. No one told me.
Did you find out in school?
Yes, I did. They played a racist movie.
Hello and welcome to the Life Goals Podcast. Today we have Kenesha, who is the co-founder of Get Noticed Media. Kenesha, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
So I wanted to start by having you tell us a little bit about how you got into the media industry and what exactly it is you do.
Yeah, so I got into the media industry about 10 years ago. I went to college for advertising and marketing at Georgian College, and then I got a job after at Direct Buy doing sales. I was like a glorified telemarketer.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I did that for about 3 years, and I was working about 45 hours a week, making literally no money. I was kind of depressed.
Yeah.
And then I had something traumatic kind of happen. My dad passed away when I was 25. And then I realized I hate my job. I also hate my relationship. I need to make some changes. So then I quit my job. My boyfriend moved out, and I spent about 2 months just kind of figuring out what I even like to do. And during that 2 months, I realized I really like to take photos of everything.
Okay.
So then I contacted my ex-boyfriend. I'm like, we should start a media business. So now it's been 10 years, and here it is.
Okay, so is it your ex-boyfriend that you have the media business with now? Okay.
Yeah, one of the reasons was I got into it as well because when we bought our house, there was, I think, 3 or 4 photos on MLS for the house, and I thought that was kind of stupid.
Right.
So then we decided to do pictures and a video tour of our house, and then that's kind of where the business really started off.
Right. Yeah, so I guess it started kind of in the real estate realm, and then you've obviously expanded out from there. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, where should I start? I did a lot of photos in nightclubs of drunk people for Facebook.
Okay.
Might have taken all your photos. I do lots of weddings. I do lots of graphic design. I do Matterports. We do drone. Did I say web design? Yeah, it's just pretty much everything.
Right. And how have you found that dynamic, working with an ex, and obviously you guys have some different investments together and that sort of stuff?
It's very complicated.
I'm sure that can be challenging.
It's extremely complicated. I mean, it's good most of the time, but then those hard days are very hard, but I'm very calm, and I just focus on what we're supposed to be doing and not the nonsense and just move on.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you find that you guys work together on a lot of projects, or are you kind of individual on your own things?
In the beginning, the first 4 or 5 years, we did a lot of stuff together, and then I was like, I need to grow up a little bit more. So I started venturing off, doing a lot of my own stuff. I did a lot of other projects. I actually opened up a bar at one point.
Okay.
And I was editing real estate photos at the bar.
Right.
Really intense. I did network marketing for a while, and that was just taking up too much of my time. But yeah, we do a lot of separate stuff, and then I'll bring him in if I need help, or he'll bring me in if he needs help. But we usually work a lot more separately now because we're just really independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw that you guys got some cool opportunities to go, I forget where it was. It was somewhere warm.
Oh, Dominican.
Yeah, you were in Dominican.
Yeah.
So what were you doing on that project, and what was that like?
I went there there was a new company, that's one of my clients. He opened up a brokerage there.
Okay.
So he wanted me to come train his team on photography. So I was also looking for an investment property. So he's like, why don't you come here? You can do photography and look for your place. So I was like, perfect. So then I went it was supposed to be 2 months, but then it was so much fun. I stayed for 4. And I brought Brian for 2 months near the end, and it was just a really good experience. It was really hot.
Yeah.
I lost one of my cameras in the ocean, the drone.
Okay.
The waves took it.
Yeah.
One of my MacBooks crashed because it's really hot there. You got to really watch your electronics. So I'm like, maybe I should just stay in Canada.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Here it's freezing, and there it's very warm. So that's cool, though. It's a cool experience. It's obviously taking you to different places.
The food was amazing there.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So hot, though. My first day shooting, I broke out in hive sweating.
Oh, really?
I'm not adapted yet.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Would you go back and do more projects there?
I think I'm over it. I'm ready to move on to somewhere else.
You like the cold?
Yeah, I do now. I want to go skating. I want to go skating later in my backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you have a rink out there, which is pretty cool. I think Brian was shoveling it on your Instagram story.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool. You went right into a deep story at the beginning, so.
Yeah, I'm hardcore.
Yeah, I'm sure it's still, present in your memory, though. So my mom died in 2020.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's gotten better, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's still, there.
Yeah, it doesn't go away. I cry to my dad in the shower when my editing's going wrong. I'm like, I need some assistance. I need you to pull through for me right now. And he does help me a lot. I believe in angels and all that stuff. I'm kind of weird that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Christian, so I believe in lots of stuff as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not weird to me. But,
that's good.
But, yeah, I find, it hits you at different times.
Yes.
And for some reason, Google Photos seems to know when I'm, feeling the saddest. And it'll be like, hey, remember this from 6 years ago?
Oh, I hate those memories. They trigger me so bad.
Yeah. I think I got one the other day, and it was my wedding day. And obviously I'm divorced now. And I think I was feeling like really lonely because I went on a date and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
another Tinder date?
This sucks. No, I don't do Tinder anymore.
Oh,
no one's serious on Tinder,
I
so
know.
I don't like it.
I'm on there wasting people's time. I decided to log off.
Okay. So you went to the Dominican.
Yes.
What other trips have you gone on?
I've gone on many trips, but for my business, I work with a company called Pi Digest.
Okay.
So it's a relaxed luxury magazine. So with the publisher, we went to Nova Scotia to Fox's Harbor, and that was amazing. We got to ride horses by the ocean, play golf. We got to go on a private jet. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then we went to St. Martin, and we got to stay in a 14-bedroom villa, just me and her. It was very scary. At night, she's like, can we share rooms? I'm like, I'm coming to your villa because I don't know where I am in this huge resort house.
Yeah, that'd be a little creepy, I guess.
It was really scary. There's no lights at night, and the bugs were really loud.
Okay.
So that was fun. So those are my 3 main fun work trips. I've done a lot of other trips, but those are not that fun.
Okay. Yeah, but it's cool. You get to do these different experiences that you wouldn't normally get to do, especially if you stayed at the job that you were at before. So were you considering leaving at various points, and then that was kind of just a catalyst for you to jump into something that you wanted to do?
I wanted to leave my job the whole time. Okay. I just was scared, and I didn't know how I was going to, what else I would do. But it took, a traumatic event in my life to happen for me to be I need to get my life together. I can't live like this anymore. So if that didn't happen, I probably would have still been at my crappy job, just running in the rat race.
Yeah, definitely. I find a lot of traumatic events are good catalysts to change.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, they suck at the time, but they're usually our biggest growth periods, which is pretty cool.
It was for sure.
So you said that you were interested in photography. How did you get into photography in the first place?
Well, when I was a teenager, remember those Kodak cameras?
Yeah.
Me and my cousins would dress up and I would take photos of everything. Okay. And all of my family events, I would just take photos of everything constantly. And then when me and my business partner started dating, he was kind of into photography. I'm like, we should make a photo studio in our basement. So I was always just doing photos.
Okay.
It was never not happening.
Yeah.
And I just figured out a way how to get paid to take them and put them on Facebook. Because that's what I'm doing anyways.
Right. Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It takes somebody that's fairly entrepreneurial and ambitious to do that. Because I think a lot of people have different ideas of what they really like. But a lot of people also say I'll just do it on the side. Yeah. And then it never becomes anything. Mm-hmm. That's something that I've thought about a lot. I don't want to be doing something for work that I don't have a passion for.
Yeah, I can't do it. I get really bored and upset. If I don't like it, I'm just going to quit now.
So how long have you had this media company now?
It's been 10 years. 10 years. This is our 10th year.
Oh, wow.
And we decided to start a new business because I can't edit for photos forever.
Fair.
We're going to start an Airbnb soon. I'm not going to say too much, but it's going to be exciting.
Okay. Can you tell us where the Airbnb is going to be?
Bracebridge. We bought 10 acres.
Okay.
So it's going to be on there.
Cool.
And I'm going to take photos of all of it in videos, and that's going to be my new job, taking photos of my own stuff.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good area, too. Muskoka has some really decent Airbnb prices, and it seems to be busier and busier every year.
I saw an owl when I was there last.
Okay.
Did you see my video on Instagram?
I did, yeah.
Yes. It was amazing.
I thought it was going to attack you.
No, I was really close, though. I don't know what it was doing. It would look like it was hunting for something, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw one a couple months ago, I guess. I was walking my dog. Yeah. And he chased this owl. Oh, oh no, the owl's going to kill you.
Oh my God.
Because they're pretty dangerous.
Yeah, they're scary.
Yeah. And they're huge. Their wingspan is pretty huge.
Yeah. And their necks.
Yeah.
The turning of the neck. I was like, oh my God, zooming in. So cool.
Yeah, I guess one benefit to you having a photography or a media company is you always have really good camera and audio visual equipment with you, so you can capture the stuff that you see.
Yes,
so that's
constant.
I always enjoy your Instagram stories and stuff because of that. So that's cool.
Just out there chasing nature. Every time I go to a photo shoot, I'm like, oh, there's something on the way. There's a bird. I'm going to stop here and take 20,000 photos of it.
Yeah. And you always stop for swans.
Yes. I just found a new swan spot. Did you see it?
I didn't see where it was.
This was Shago.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing.
Have you always loved swans?
When COVID hit, I finally slowed down. I just started bird watching and stuff, and I was like, wow, nature's actually amazing. Yeah. Because I never really noticed nature before because I was just busy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I spent 5 months in BC last year, and I got to just slow down and go for hikes. Yeah. I remember one of the hikes I did, I got to the top of the mountain and there were 2 bald eagles circling the top of the mountain, and then you could see
magical.
Like deer in the valley. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I love that stuff. That's the stuff I look forward to now. Instead of like going and like shopping, I'd rather like go look at swans. It's way more fulfilling. I love it. They were scary though. They're like as tall as I was.
Yeah, they're big birds.
Yeah, these ones were huge.
Is that a bird?
Yeah, they're a bird. I'm like,
okay.
When I was there, I'm like, do these swans fly? Are they birds? And then like 2 huge swans came like flying in. I'm like, yeah, they fly.
Yeah, they definitely fly.
They fly.
They're scary.
They're huge.
It's like a Pegasus.
Yeah. Yeah, but now we're still friends. Couple dates. Now we're doing podcasts together.
Yeah. And you've done a lot of my photos, which I get a lot of compliments on.
I know. You're like a freaking celebrity now.
I don't know about that.
What is on your shirt? Are those like tennis rackets?
Yeah.
It's a really nice shirt, actually. I really like it.
They're flowers and tennis rackets. Shout out to Harry Rosen, where I do all my shopping.
Oh my gosh. That is a nice department store.
I'll tag them in the video now.
Okay. It's nice.
Yeah, I like really weird shirts. I have some summer ones. You know, like the houndstooth print?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, like different patterns on shirts.
Yeah.
I have one that has just like little wolves.
Okay.
So it's like a full body wolf, but it's really small, so it looks like a pattern, just like a regular pattern.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
I like black. I work to wear black every day.
I know.
Put on a bit of color today.
I see that.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
you look great.
Thanks.
Have you always been in this area? Like, did you grow up in this area?
I was actually born in Barrie.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
Okay.
My mom moved from Trinidad to Barrie.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Right.
And my dad moved from Jamaica to Barrie. Why? I don't know. And they were like the only minorities in Barrie back then. So then they found each other and made me.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty random. So the only other place I've lived in was Halifax. I lived there for a couple years.
Okay.
And Oro, which is where I am now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're obviously used to being a minority because those are all predominantly white
minority
areas.
Life. I love it. I didn't even know I was black until I was 10. I did not know. No one told me.
Did you find out in school?
Yes, I did. They played a racist movie. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going out for recess. Very upset.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was messed up because like my stepmom's white and she was with my dad, and then my mom's obviously black. So like I knew I had like different food at the houses, but I didn't like know we were different colors until I saw that movie at school, and my dad was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Right.
Yeah, it was a scene.
Have you found that that's impacted you through like business or anything because of the area that you're in?
For me, no. I think it's actually helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it hasn't affected my life at all.
Yeah,
I use it to my advantage. I'm like, you need to hire me.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, we will.
Yeah, I guess it's effective that way.
Yeah, it is. I look at it on the positive side. It's not like a bad thing. It's like a really good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's a really good perspective.
Yeah, now I'm not a minority because actually when I moved back from Halifax a few years ago, I think everyone from Toronto started moving here. And I went to the Zara's and I was like, oh my God, like these people are not my family. Where do they come from?
Yeah.
And now Barrie's like pretty multicultural because everyone from Toronto has bought in all the houses here.
Yeah,
overpriced.
that's true.
Yeah, overpriced.
Yeah, especially since COVID. Like a lot of people have been moving to Simcoe and even Muskoka.
Yeah.
I even sold some houses in Temiskaming.
Miskaming?
It's like really far north.
Okay.
It was really random, but yeah, like just people online shopping, and they're like, I want to get as far away as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't really do that area, but I could try and help you.
Yeah. It's nice out here. Well, I was living in downtown Barrie, then COVID hit, and I was living in a condo, and my neighbors were all retired, and they were scared of me because I was still coming in and out of the house working.
Okay.
So I decided to ditch the condo and get a house instead so I have more space.
Right.
Because they kept locking us down. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, people can't see, but you're on the water here, which is really nice. There's lots of light, and it seems like there's pretty good privacy and everything too, which is really cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are realizing that like you can leave a city house that's worth $1 million or a little bit more than $1 million and come to Simcoe or come to Muskoka and get a house with a much better view for privacy. Around the same price.
Yeah, it's a little bit further out, but it's better. I feel like the energy is just better when you have more like nature and space around you.
Yeah, the drivers are less aggressive for sure.
Yes, exactly. I remember like living in my condo because there's like a lot of Wi-Fi in condos. I used to feel really sketchy all the time, and I realized it was probably from all the Wi-Fi running through the building. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. There's always like 100 different Wi-Fi networks that pop
up. It's insane. It's nuts. And now there's like, I only see like 2 out here.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better. I feel more calm.
And I don't know if people realize, but like we get high-speed internet here as well. I don't know if you do like.
Of course, I do. I have stuff that's like send and download.
I was just checking.
I have the top-notch internet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's growing a lot. Like even like some remote cottages get like decent satellite internet.
I mean, most of them do now. I think I have Wi-Fi in my camera, one of them, and I have Wi-Fi in my Matterport. So usually my stuff can work off itself. I'm not working too. So that's always good.
So what sort of equipment do you use when you're like going to shoot a house?
Yeah. Usually I use my Canon R5. It's a mirrorless one. And then we use the DJI drones for that.
Right.
And that's like the best.
Yeah, there's been like a recent transition to mirrorless, right?
Yes.
I don't know how recent it is, but it's recent to me.
A couple years ago, I switched over.
I only found out like a month ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, my first mirrorless camera I bought, and I was just like so stuck in my ways. I used it for 2 days, and I actually didn't want to have it anymore. I tried to return it, and they wouldn't take it back, so then I had to like learn how to deal with it. Now I actually love it.
Right.
It's way better.
Okay.
But it's just a different transition. But I kept my mirror one still, just, for a museum one day. I don't know.
Well, I'm still sure there's still like great cameras.
Yeah, they're amazing still. They actually work better from the dark, so I keep it for like night photography.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then as far as like you have the cameras, what else do you bring? Like do you bring in lighting and then I'll ask that first. Do you bring in lighting?
Yes, I use my flash, which is I think a Canon flash, and I use like a Gary Fong, which is like a plastic cup that sits on top of it. People are always like, "What is that?" I'm like, it just creates extra light.
Okay.
When I used to like work in the nightclub with that, people would try to put change in my cup. Like that's my light, but thanks for the money.
That was a tip jar.
Yeah. So I just bring my flash, my Gary Fong, my camera, and I just go like that. Like I don't really need a lot of lighting and like extra stuff because I know my settings very well.
Right.
And I usually shoot really, really quick. I can shoot a house in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I brought you in for a listing.
Yeah.
I think, it was like 15, 20 minutes maybe. And it was a pretty big house.
Yeah.
So
I'm super fast. I'm ADHD.
And the photos were great.
The house sold, overpriced, of course.
Yes. One thing I wanted to ask you about, just because I have a personal curiosity about, is like, it's not anything weird, don't worry.
Like, what is it?
Like editing software, because I've been trying to edit my videos for real estate and obviously my podcast now. Yeah. So what do you use for editing?
For photos, I use Lightroom Classic, and then for video, I use Final Cut Pro X. Okay. And I've been using that the whole time. Yeah. It's the best.
Yeah, because I've definitely noticed some limitations. I was using iMovie at first.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. But you can only have like 2 rows of edits.
Yeah.
And then it just gives you an error.
Yeah.
If you have more than that. So yeah, I switched to DaVinci Resolve, but I don't know what I'm doing.
So watch more YouTube videos. I taught myself everything from YouTube. Where I'd just be like, Brian, I need to know how to do this. And then he would watch YouTube and give me the short version of how to do it.
Okay. So did you guys learn photography together like at the same time? Or is one of you like more experienced than the other when you started?
Well, Brian, like he was doing it a bit with like one of his best friends in high school. And that's like when I found him on Plenty of Fish, he had a really nice photo. I was like,
you met him on a dating app too?
I meet everyone on dating apps. Everyone I know. But yeah, I saw they had a nice photo and I was like, oh, I think he's into photography. And that's literally why I started talking to him. Oh, okay. So he kind of like knew about it. But then once we started dating, I'm like, hey, we're going to like make a studio. So he kind of like taught himself. Right. And then once I started, he literally bought me a camera and told me what the 3 buttons did. And then I just like figured it out from there. Okay. It just like naturally just came to me. Like sometimes I don't really know how to explain what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm at the level where I know like 1 or 2 buttons at this point, and then everything else is just foreign. Even like when I read the instruction manual. Oh,
I can't read that. It gives me anxiety. I like tried to take a photography class once, and I was like, I'm gonna quit. Like this is stressing me out. So I just decided to just start doing it, and figure it out trial and error on my own. That just works better.
Yeah, because it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it's stressful. Like all these options, I'm like, I don't want to know what those do. I just want the one that I want.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's the case with anything though too. Like I found that with real estate, where they're like, "Oh, you need to know all this information," and then like 80% of it you never hear about again. No. Do you have like a favorite project that you've worked on in the last 10 years, or a couple projects maybe?
Well, that's a good question. Favorite project. I don't think I have a favorite because I've just done so many random things. Yeah. My favorite thing to do is to take naps.
That's why you're starting the Airbnb thing.
Yes. So I can go sleep there when people aren't there.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can get paid while you're taking a nap and people are living there.
I'm going to be doing a glamping situation. Okay. It's coming together. I have my Airstream out there. That's going to go there. Yeah. There's a container home there already. Oh, cool. It's hooked up, ready to go. I'm going to go paint it white, black, and red. Like my favorite colors. Yeah. And a few more things. I'm excited. I should have it up and running by the summer. I have a lot more stuff to do first.
Right. Yeah, it's really nice that Muskoka still allows Airbnb, because like Collingwood has outlawed Airbnb or short-term rentals. People still do it, but
I feel like they still do it.
They get fined when they get caught, obviously. But yeah, it's nice that Muskoka actually allows people to do that.
Yeah, it's so nice up there. You have to do Airbnbs.
Yeah. And that market's crazy now too.
It's expensive up there. I was actually looking at this tiny house that was on the water. They were renting it out for $1,000 a night. Yeah. For a tiny home.
Yeah, some of the cottages in the summer go up to $200,000 a month.
That's crazy. They need to hire me for photography. That's very expensive. I would never pay that.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's nuts. Actually, I have a house, I remember now, a project we worked on. It's called The Burgess. It's in Port Carling. I remember this because it was like 2 doors down from Drake's cottage.
Okay.
It was 20,000 square feet. It took me and Brian 3 days to shoot it. And this was the house with the butler running around like a madman. He's in my Matterport footage. But that house was just like amazing. It ended up in the New York Times. It was just like a really cool house. Massive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
The boathouse was the size of my house. And my house is huge.
Yeah.
That was the boathouse. It's incredible.
Yeah, some of the boathouses are insane.
Yeah, like they're better than the actual house.
Yeah.
I got lost in that house a few times. They had like a games room that was the size of this living room. It was like that rec room, that place in the South End. Have you been there yet?
No.
They had like all those arcade games and stuff. It was amazing.
Okay.
I was like, I need to be here for 3 days. It's going to take me 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some wild stuff in some of the cottages. Like I went to one cottage and they had so they got a local painter to come in and paint the walls.
Yeah.
And they had like this secret room that you could go in and it was all painted. And then like as you walk through, there were sensors, so they trigger LED lights.
Yeah.
And like the painting would light up as you walk through.
That's so cool. It's like an NFT.
Yeah. So much creativity.
And I have another one. I'm only not only bringing this up, but this guy passed away a couple days ago, Bob Proctor. I don't know if you know who he is. Yeah. He's like a human potential life coach. Yeah. I met him like 10 years ago, and I did videos with him. I used to watch him on YouTube, and I was like, Brian, we can manifest our life with our thoughts. We need to watch this guy.
Yeah.
And then I was working in this network marketing company, and his wife was like the #1 lady in it. And then my mentor was working with Bob Proctor, so I actually got to like go to Bob Proctor's house, and like he hired me for videos and pictures a few times, which is pretty crazy because I used to watch this guy on YouTube.
Yeah,
and when I went to his house, it was an hour from my own house. I'm like, he lives in Canada? What? But yeah, he just passed away. But you know, he always says energy changes in form, so he's still around. So rest in peace, Bob Proctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really amazing to work with. He just has really good energy. A really good mentor for sure.
Yeah, I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who are ambitious and have good energy. Yeah. Because you ultimately become a product of your environment. Yeah. So if you're hanging around with people that are like negative and pessimistic, you're probably going to become pessimistic.
Yeah. I purposely try to hang out with people that are really positive. And a lot of older people, I like to hang with like 50 and 60-year-olds because they know stuff that I don't know yet, and I need to learn from them.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's this gap. I feel like in your early 20s, you don't really respect people that are older.
No, I thought I knew everything.
But then once you get to your 30s, you're like, oh, these people actually have a lot of wisdom. Like I can actually learn a lot of things from these people because they've already lived.
They've just lived longer. They just have more time experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish you could learn that earlier in life.
Right? I was so stubborn in my 20s. I was like, oh, I know everything. I'm top notch. And I look back, I'm like, I was a freaking clown. I was like a high-functioning zombie. I didn't really know what I was doing. And now I have like a better idea.
Yeah. It's weird though because everybody goes through that cycle.
Yeah.
And like we have older generations that tell us like, oh, you shouldn't look at it like that.
Yeah. It's
but
true.
We still do, like all of us do, I think. Maybe there's the odd exception. I just haven't met them.
I'm getting better now. I take advice from old people all the time.
What was one of the most difficult projects that you've worked on?
Dominican.
Yeah, okay. Because of all the loss of equipment?
There was a lot of things that happened.
Okay.
I'm still processing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was just like, you know, like when you're working on stuff and there's like a lot of resistance, but you're still pushing through.
Right.
There was just like a lot of crazy things that happened. Like I've never been in a car accident. I got in 2 there.
Oh, wow.
There's like a lot of just personality conflicts with like the people I was working with them and each other. I'm not going to say a lot because I don't want to expose anybody, but it was just like really complicated. And I was there by myself with strangers that were not really getting along anymore.
Oh, okay.
And it was just really scary.
Yeah,
and that's actually why I got Brian to come with me after 2 months because I was like, I actually like need help and like I'm very overwhelmed.
Right.
And we were in the process of buying a property there, which was also very challenging because there's no rules really there. You can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And we started to buy a condo there to invest in, and we sent the money through like a global transfer app on our phone. And we had to send all this money over throughout 2 weeks. So we sent it all away. We thought we were gonna get the place, everything's going good. And then just a bunch more bad things kept happening. And I started like getting really bad anxiety. I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be working here anymore or doing this anymore. And then like randomly all the money came back into our account, which is insane.
Right.
So I took that as a sign. It doesn't even make sense. I took that as a sign because like the money was gone. It was out the account. I had the transaction numbers, everything gone. And then it just came back in. I'm like, okay, we're going to go back to Canada. I don't think that we're supposed to be here. So it was just really challenging because I had a whole life plan to like go there and like do my business there. Like I had it all planned out. And then it just like came back in my face.
Right.
And now I'm back in Canada and now I bought something in Muskoka. So yeah.
And now you love the winter.
Yeah, now I love the winter. So yeah, it was just difficult because I was trying to push a narrative that I wanted, and the universe was like, "This is not happening for you."
Right.
So I cried a lot when I came back home. I was depressed. I'm like, my dream in Dominican is over, but now I have a new one, so it's all good.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. We end up getting really passionate about things.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't end up working out
at all.
Then usually something better happens as a result of that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's way better now. But like as it was happening, I was like, I think I need a psychologist. Like I don't know how I'm going to get through this. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, and it was just nothing was working, nothing. And things are always working well for me, and nothing was working there.
Right.
And it was just I just didn't know what to do, so I just had to like throw my hands up in the air and just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you learned anything from that experience and like turn that into something positive now?
I just learned I don't know really what I learned. I was like,
sometimes that happens.
I'm still processing, to be
honest.
Maybe when I see signs from the universe 20 times over and over, I should take them instead of just trying to keep being positive. Because I do that a lot where I'm like, everything's going to be fine. It's like, no, it's not fine. I'm like, it's going to be fine.
Right.
And I should have just stopped when I knew it was not going to be fine instead of just pushing it further and further and bringing Brian into it and just pushing it further and further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a toxic relationship sort of.
That's
like, well, I've already invested so much, so we're going to make this work.
I'm ready here. I already left everything. If this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so moving forward, when I get a lot of resistance, I'm just going to stop.
Yeah.
And not put myself through so much torture.
Yeah, it is hard to know like when to keep pushing and persevere.
Yeah.
And when that's going to be positive and when it's going to be negative. But it sounds like you got a pretty good sign when you got all your money back.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
I literally I cried. I thanked the Lord. I was like, this is the biggest thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Because I thought I was going to lose my deposit because Brian didn't want the place anymore. Because
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot. I still love the Dominican though. I'll go back there for just a vacation.
Yeah.
But I'm over the whole working thing.
Yeah, I've never been, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's awesome there. If you want to buy a place there, it's pretty amazing. It's really cheap.
I don't know if I want to now.
Well, it was for me. That was my experience.
I know.
I have a bunch of friends that were following me there that they all sold all their stuff here in Canada with their families, and they're all living there now, living an amazing life.
Right.
One of my friends just bought 8 acres. He's building a community there called Free the North.
Okay.
He actually was running the protest here in Barrie.
So
cool. Yeah, they're doing a whole vibe there. I'm like, I was supposed to be there, but yeah, they're doing great. Just didn't work out for me, unfortunately. Yeah. It's going great for them though.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm a little bit jealous when I see photos. Not gonna lie, I could have been there taking those photos. It was supposed to be me.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess when you get your Airbnb up and running, you can go visit and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess to sum up, I just want to ask, if you were to talk to yourself when you started this business, what advice would you have for yourself?
Stop saying yes to everything. Stop doing everything all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I have an addictive personality. I'm very workaholic, and I don't know how to stop because I also don't like to sleep that much.
Yeah.
But I just need to learn how to slow down. So when COVID hit, it was actually a blessing in disguise because I would not have slowed down. I would have kept going and crying and kept going and kept going.
Yeah.
But I actually, me and Brian, we actually both had a bit of a mental breakdown at the beginning of the year because I had booked 35 weddings in a year, which is kind of crazy. And I had all my real estate stuff throughout the week, plus all the other stuff I do. And I was like, I actually don't know how I'm going to pull this off this year. And I cried for 3 days, and then everything got shut down. I was like, oh, another miracle? So it's got a break for a bit, but then they took that break too long. Went too long.
Yeah, you work a lot. You have a shoot after this.
Yes. Yes, we got to get going.
And it's a Sunday that we're filming on.
I don't really know what day it is. The days don't matter to me. Just whatever day it is, it's going to happen.
Yeah, that kind of happens with me with real estate too.
Yeah.
When things come up, then I do them.
Yeah.
And I just try and prioritize stuff that's more important. So if it's seeing my daughter or spending time and throwing a ball with my dog, I prioritize that stuff.
Yeah.
But I still fit everything in.
Yeah.
So.
It's called adulting so hard.
Yeah. But somehow it still feels like it's not as much work as like going to a job from 9 to 5.
Yeah. Like when I'm shooting, like that for me is like fun. I can shoot like for 10 hours a day and like having the best time. It's the editing that I'm like upset now because I have to actually like sit there.
Yeah.
So sometimes I call friends. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? But I'm really using you on the phone so I can sit there and edit for 5 hours and have someone to talk to.
Yeah. Oh, that actually does remind me of one other question that I had. So when I come to you and get photos done, I find that they're always pretty good because we have like a relationship where we've known each other for a while. How important do you find that relationship is like with your clients? Because I've gone to other photographers and I like just met them and they're like, okay, smile and seem natural. I'm like, I don't know you.
Yeah. Well, I'm just really good with people. I kind of like make everyone my friend. All of my clients are my friends.
Yeah.
Or I make them become my friends. So it just becomes more natural as time goes on. Because I do, like the first time they always feel awkward. I'm like, do you need a shot of vodka? Do you feel awkward? Like, do you want to like hang out for like 20 minutes first?
Right.
I just like to make people feel comfortable so that they look natural in the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just make them your friend and it's just a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
So
because a lot of people always tell me they're really scared. They're like, they feel really nervous. I'm like, oh, it's going to be fine. We're going to be friends.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'm going to go do my photo shoot now.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.